On the morning of March 12th, the students of Bellmore-Merrick Broadcasting were preparing for their first ever overnight trip as they were set to travel to Washington, D.C. for the Student Television Network.
The trip was full of possibilities, as teams of Bmb students were poised to take part in broadcasting competitions against students from some of the top programs across the country.
Bmb students were also up for 6 separate prizes at Long Island's Bash Awards, recognizing excellence in broadcasting on Long Island.
All of that changed by the end of the day on March 12th, when STN and Bash were canceled. But despite the world shutting down around them, Bmb and the students of Bmb stayed on the air, and tonight we recognize some of the amazing work that has been done by the students of Bmb through the 2019 and 2020 school year. I am Riley Freed of Bmb's Midweek Update.
And I am Haley Hepworth, also from the Midweek Update, and tonight, with the help of some familiar faces, both past and present, we'll recognize Bmb students in 15 different categories.
Each category was reviewed by a committee of experts in the field, and an eventual winner was chosen. To start off our evening and to present the first award, please welcome to the screen MEPM Principal Mr. Gomez.
Thank you, Riley. And thank you to the students of Bmb. You've entertained us, informed us, and been part of almost every event we have at MEPM and beyond. Your commitment, enthusiasm, and dedication to Bmb is very commendable and will never go unnoticed. Please know how much we all appreciate the work that you produce. I'm certain that there are many great things to come from all of you as you continue to help MEPM and Bellmore-Merrick remain the special places that they are. And to our seniors, congratulations on being the first group to graduate from our Bmb program. I wish you all the best as you transition to the next chapter in your lives. Well, what better way is there to open a broadcast than with an award for the best opening roll-in? And trust me, I've watched them all, and each is truly amazing. And the nominees are
Rocco Law Sports Report. Rosenberg, Game Night. Spencer Mattis, Coronavirus Update. What's Poppin' Pirates?
It's pretty good. Yeah, it was good. I like that.
I feel like I'd go see it again.
And the winner is
Emily Rosenberg, Game Night.
Congratulations, an honor well deserved. Now to present our next award in the category of Best PSA, it is MEPM Assistant Principal, Mr. Del Rosario.
Thank you, Haley. It's an honor to be a part of this broadcast tonight.
And I want to take a minute to thank the entire BMB team for doing an incredible job keeping our MEPM community close and feeling together, even though we're apart. You entertained us, you inform us, and a big part of that are public service announcements. By definition, a public service announcement serves the greater good of the community, and this year, BMB has done an exceptional job providing the greater good. Let's take a look at the nominations.
Hi, my name is Luke Malfa, and I hate to break it.
How Not to Annoy Your Parents in a Pandemic. Mike Galfano, Luke Melfa, and Emily Yucht.
Coronavirus quarantine, our parents are learning that we're way more annoying than they realize. So here are 5 tips for how to not annoy your parents during your coronacation.
Cell phone addiction. Kyle Santagato, Louis Saracini, and Michael Galfano.
Almost everything is connected to electronics in some way. People use their phones for education, connection, entertainment, and more. Most people use their electronics for hours a day, and most make time to use their phone, even if it's only for 5 minutes before their next class.
Coronavirus, aka COVID-19, is spreading faster.
How to social distance. Sean Petritis, Emily Yucht, and Emily Rosenberg.
Do not see this as a risk, because for us, the virus isn't fatal.
However, we can still be carriers and spread it to people like our grandparents, infants, and those with weak immune systems.
I was 11 when it started.
I was 18.
No Place for Hate. Sean Petritis and Emily Rosenberg.
10.
12. People started staring at me.
I cut my hair.
And the winner is...
I was 11 when it started.
I was 18.
I was 5.
No Place for Hate.
I was 15.
Sean Petritis
8,
and Emily
10,
Rosenberg.
12. People started staring at me.
I cut my hair.
I wore different clothes.
I acted like everyone else.
But it didn't matter what I did.
I was just different.
I didn't know how to deal with it.
I didn't know who to tell.
Some people just don't like you for no apparent reason.
My friends started laughing.
They thought I was joking. But I wasn't joking. I pretended I was.
I just let it happen.
I couldn't fight back.
I was scared.
I was scarred.
I would cry in my room every night.
I would leave school early.
I would cut class.
Can't listen to people laughing without thinking it's directed at me. At me.
At me.
At me.
My self-esteem is empty. Bullying just doesn't stop.
It starts to come from yourself.
If no one likes me, therefore I just don't deserve love.
No one listened to me.
It wasn't obvious.
I asked for help.
It happened at Sawmill.
It happened at Newbridge. It happened at Grand.
It happened in my math class last week.
It happened in the bathroom. It almost killed me.
It did.
It happens to everyone.
It happens to
everyone. It happens to everyone.
It happens to everyone.
It happens to everyone.
It happened to me.
Congratulations, so awesome. Now to present our next award in the category of Best Gaffer, here is MEPM Assistant Principal, Dr. Karn.
Thank you, Riley. I'm happy to be here tonight with all of BMB to present the award for Best Gaffer. In the world of film and television, the gaffer is one of the electricians responsible for running miles of cables across the set. At BMB, the gaffing has been a catch-all term for those who are responsible for the setup of a shoot, whether it is in the studio or out on location. And 4 BMBers have stood out above the rest when it comes to setting up a shoot. So the nominees are...
Alyssa Romandetto, Tom Morrow, Sean Petritis, Kais Haney.
And the winner is...
Sean Petritis.
Congratulations, and now I know why I see him always running around before a shoot.
The behind-the-scenes jobs are not often seen, but without them, none of what people see on BMB is possible.
And now to present our next award in the category of Best Human Interest Story, it is Bmb Assistant Principal, Mr. Safina.
Thank you, Haley. It's an honor to be here, and especially an honor to present the awards for Best Human Interest Story. The ability to connect with people through a screen is truly a great skill. The ability to make people feel with words and the images they connect with to tell the story of others is why people watch television and videos. These are some of the stories that change the way people think. The nominees for Best Human Interest Story are
Like those negative emotions.
Adam Barbera, almost perfect.
That I feel at times. And therapy has helped me. My therapist, bless her soul, is a lovely woman. And the biggest thing is family support, because if you have a good support group around you, it's really the best thing you could have.
Working now, they're doing
Lily Yepes and Louis Saraceni, first responders.
with all of the PPEs and the ventilators that you keep hearing Cuomo talk about on the news. They have to have all their face coverings for every part that they see a patient, even if nobody's sick. They're getting swabbed and tested when they go into the building to see if they have COVID.
We're filming now.
Ava Scheffler and Carmen Sanga, Follow Me.
I think self-confidence is built primarily when one is very young. The lack of self-confidence really can be a big obstacle for a lot of students.
What is your superpower?
I can automatically.
Kyle Santagato, what's your superpower?
Eating a lot.
Great power, Bailey. Very proud of you.
Thank you. Strength.
Great power.
And I am Trash Man, the hero who's not afraid to be himself.
And the winner is
Ava Scheffler and Carmen Sanga, Follow Me.
I think self-confidence is built primarily when one is very young. The lack of self-confidence really can be a big obstacle for a lot of students. Since I began my career in the Bellmore-Merrick School District in 1998, there have been a lot of changes. How have their attitudes changed? I don't know it's so much that students have changed as there's been tremendous change in the world.
Would you consider yourself a confident person?
No.
Why?
Because I'm not.
No. Who's someone who makes you feel not so confident?
Maybe not like one person in general, but sometimes like probably myself.
People that are judgy.
Like a lot of people, I guess.
You're really talented and you're an amazing friend, and I think you're really beautiful.
Thank you.
I think you should return that.
And what's a compliment you wish you could receive every day?
I'd like to know.
That you're smart, maybe, I don't know. Or you're funny, I don't know. Any compliment's nice.
That there's always tomorrow. There's always another one. Keep going, because you can do it.
That I'm intellectual in what I do. I say this to my 9-year-old daughter, if at the end of the day you put your head on your pillow and you know you gave it your all that day, that's the best that you
Like, you're just an amazing friend. Like, you're someone I can trust, and you're really, like, you're just a kind person, and you're so genuine, and, like, I really appreciate you.
I love you.
Congratulations! That was such a great story, and all of the nominees in that category were amazing. Now, to present our next award, here is one of the administrators that helped launch the Bmb program. She also was on the committee that selected me to be a part of the program. Thank you for that, by the way. Please welcome MEPM English Chairperson, Ms. Donnelly.
Thank you, Riley. I'm happy to be with Bmb tonight, and I should add that I'm so very impressed with how much you have all grown since I first had an opportunity to meet you in the recruitment process. The sign on the door to the studio says broadcast journalism. Good journalism provides people with the information that they need to stay informed and make important decisions. Now more than ever, high-quality journalism is vital. And I thank you all for doing your part to make Bmb the place for news across the MEPM school community. The nominees in the category of Best News Package are:
While Bmb has been hard at work producing daily content, we've realized not everyone
Game Night Review, Louis Saracini
so we
and Lily
decided to host
Yepes.
a live Bmb game show.
This is Bmb's great Break the Cabin Fever Game Night.
I still think it's a long name.
But it really does roll off the tongue.
I guess.
We started out by reaching out to families in our schools and our own Bmb talent to participate in the show. We had a game set up for the guests to compete in.
Well, what happened is Mr. Gomez sent emails to all the principals saying that you guys were doing this and they were looking for a family to participate.
The Bethlehem Skull and Bones Club has always been the
Fall Play Review, Jake Winkleman and Mike Galfano.
Even though each story has a different mood and plot, each production has the same problem that they question themselves. How can we go from an empty stage to a full, complete scene?
It takes a lot of hard work and a lot of hours. So usually the students here work with me after school from about 3 to 4:30, 5 o'clock.
The MEPM community is all about giving back to the bigger community.
The Dr. King Day of Service, Luke Melfa, Vaughn Duque, and Kylie Persampieri.
Yeah, you know, I'm pretty happy being donated. I think it's for a good cause, so it's worth it. I'm happy I'm needed.
During social studies classes, students will organize the necessary items into bags to later be shipped to the places that require them. When you think of the word leader,
Follow me, Gus Bresnader, Luke Melfa, Nora Eisenstein, Vaughn
rarely
Duque.
do we think of the president of the drama club.
Gus is a special case. In 2015, we did a spring musical called Pippin, and they required us to have a boy that could not be played by a high schooler because the boy had to be young, and he had the time of his life, and he made really great connections with everyone. And I think from that experience, he was able to see what the essence of this group was and what it's about. So I think that motivated him to want to get to this point in his life.
And the winner is...
Recently, MEPM High School hosted their Night on Broadway show. This year, the MEPM Skull and Bones Club premiered A Christmas Carol.
The Bethlehem Skull and Bones Club has always been notorious and known for performing outstanding plays since the day the program began. Even though each story has a different mood and plot, each production has the same problem that they question themselves. How can we go from an empty stage to a full, complete scene?
It takes a lot of hard work and a lot of hours. So usually the students here work with me after school from about 3 to 4:30, 5 o'clock. And then there might be that much of a break for me to eat some food. And then those students who stay and I just work on the sets.
Individual actors have also had to overcome many issues, including Tyrell Weinstein, who has had to remember hundreds of lines and practice his role to accurately represent his main character.
Well, for me, the most stressful part so far has been trying to nail down every single line, and not even the accent. I mean, that's fine, but the lines, you know, since I'm the lead, it's just a crazy amount of lines, but it's awesome to do, you know, over and over again. I love it, but it's just hard to know when to come in and know other people's cues, and yeah. And also another thing, becoming the character, that's also stressful too, trying to nail that down.
Just like the backstage production, the main character has also had to overcome many problems throughout the story.
Scrooge is his own enemy in this production. He's just someone who, as a young man, experienced a few hardships, and didn't really have a close-knit family. His sister died when he was young. His dad didn't really want anything to do with him. And then when he got older, he became more obsessed with saving money instead of spending his time with his fiancée and having a family with her. So she left him also. So he's just someone who just missed what life is all about. It's those connections that we make with people. So throughout the play, he goes through a journey looking at his past, his present, and his future, and he uses the lessons from that to become a warmer, more generous, more loving person than he ever knew he could be.
The Skull and Bones Drama Club performed another successful play even though they had plenty of hardships to overcome. From B&B, I'm Jake Winkleman.
I'm so happy for them. What a great honor and what a great story. Bmb takes the Bellmore-Merrick part of our name very seriously. We report of stories in the schools across the district, as well as local leaders, businesses, and just people in our community. To present the award for Best Community News Story, here is Social Studies Chairperson and Bmb Administrator, Miss Einbinder.
Thank you, Haley. If anyone told me a year ago I'd be on camera for a Bmb show, I would have told them that they were crazy. I usually run from the camera as I tend to be a behind-the-scenes kind of person. However, when Mr. Stein asked if I would present for the Bmb Awards, I just couldn't say no. Bmb is a part of a larger community. There are stories that need to be told across that community. Bmb provides a service to the Bellmore-Merrick community, whether it is covering events like its annual coverage of the Sprig Gardner Wrestling Tournament or its first ever coverage of a cheerleading competition at JFK this past winter, or its upcoming hosting of St. Baldrick's. Bmb is a part of the Bellmore-Merrick community, and these community news packages tell a part of that story. The nominees for Best Community News Package are...
At this event, students were put into
Bellmore-Merrick Business Challenge, Louis Saraceni.
solutions to judges.
The idea is to bring together 3 individuals from different schools, provide a scenario that allows them to solve a problem, and then communicate that problem to the judges.
One would think that everything is normal, but they're
worth a second look. Casey Farr and Melanie Senra.
Music is played throughout the school, which is not a normal occurrence in many other schools.
So we started Communications Club 2 years ago, and since we started the club, we've been playing music. So the students can fill out a request sheet, and so can the staff, and a lot of the music that is picked is theme related. So right now it's December, so we're playing all winter holiday music.
To distribute the face shields, the
Bellmore Library, Spencer and Ruby Mattis.
Their production of these shields. From there, citizens ranging from nurses working on the front lines to quarantine workers have been inquiring about obtaining this equipment. The librarians then eagerly provide as many shields as the person desires. This altruistic process began in Bellmore thanks to the initiative of libraries in Suffolk County.
The community garden is a prized possession here at Park Avenue Elementary.
The Community Garden, Melanie Senra.
In 2011. The community garden is important to the children's education here, from composting at lunch to learning about photosynthesis in class. The community garden is important and it's always looking to the future.
And the winner is...
When students walk the halls of Merrick Avenue Middle School in the morning, one would think that everything is normal, but there's something else there. Every day during the morning announcements, different music is played throughout the school, which is not a normal occurrence in many other schools.
So we started Communications Club 2 years ago, and since we started the club, we've been playing music. So the students can fill out a request sheet, and so can the staff, and a lot of the music that is picked is theme related. So right now it's December, so we're playing all winter holiday music.
One of the regulars on the morning announcements, Ben Goldsmith, likes to play a unique type of music.
I play a genre called fresh rock. I love rock music, and I just try to take a lot of influence and put all those influences and genres into my own style called fresh rock, making rock a little bit new. Since it's like not as popular now, I'm gonna try to take it to the next level someday.
The fact that many students choose to listen to Ben's music is very uplifting.
I mean, it's great hearing that other people requested to play my music. It's like awesome. that people are supporting me.
The music in the school sets the tone for the school days and keeps the student and faculty engaged within the school. Although this might seem unimportant, it is worth a second look. From Bmb, I've been Casey Farr.
Such a great story and such a great feeling to be a part of the larger Bellmore-Merrick community. Congrats to the winner and all of the nominees. One of the things that separates what Bmb posts when compared to the videos you might make with your friends is our amazing graphic department.
Our graphics, whether they are lower thirds, over the shoulders, or title screens, are absolutely amazing.
Now to present the award for the best graphic is a member of the original Bmb team. Colleen Heffron was Bmb's first head of graphics before her family moved away to Tennessee.
Recently, Colleen has rejoined Bmb remotely as a valued member of our pandemic coverage, and she joins us now to present the award for Best Graphic.
Before I get interrupted by thunder, chainsaws, and giant insects, I'd like to say graphics are the images, titles, and title screens that appear during a broadcast that give Bmb its professional look. Our teams work tirelessly to get that professional look just right. The graphics team is made up of creative artists who are able to work quickly and carefully on short notice. Here are the nominees for Best Graphics.
Kyle Santagato, Pumpkin Painting. Kyle Santagato, 9-Shot Movie Review. Kyle Santagato, Overcoming the Monster. Kyle Santagato, Winter Concert Full Screen with Logo.
And the winner is, I don't have it either.
Kyle Santagato, Overcoming the Monster.
Not a surprise. For a while after Colleen left and before Miss Kalish arrived, Kyle was the Bmb graphics department.
For more on what Kyle has meant to Bmb, here's Bmb's Luke Melfa. Love!
Right on the set. 5, 4, 3.
Yeah, so I'm Kyle, I'm head of graphics.
Kyle, the man, the myth, the legend.
I don't know if I can put into words what Kyle Santagato has meant to Bmb for the last 4 years.
Kyle, watching you grow up to lead the graphics department has truly been an inspiring experience.
I met Kyle last year when I started supervising the Bmb students at events. Kyle was a student that put me at ease right away. He was willing to kind of show me the ropes and explain what he was doing, teach me how to set up a camera. I very quickly saw how kind and warm-hearted he was, and how dedicated he was to his craft. And honestly, Kyle is a big reason that I jumped at the chance to be a teacher in the Bmb program. All right, guys, so we need a graphic, preferably ASAP, so if you could work on it now, that would be great. That story we were talking about before with the news, we need something that looks almost like a bullseye, like circles inside circles. So you know how to do that in Photoshop, right? No big deal. So if you could just work on that now and get it to me within the next few minutes, that'd be great, okay?
How do you make a circle?
Wasn't
that Kyle's job before he left?
I
think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think he used to do that.
He knew what a circle was.
I think this is fine.
I think we need Kyle.
You start to find your courage, and you really start to feel grounded on who you are. You put yourself out there on the Bmb YouTube channel, which is definitely no easy task.
People just dress up, to dress up. But for some people, like me, it's more. There's more meaning behind a costume, and for me as trash man, that's why I dress up. And there's a lot of reason behind it that I don't think people get if you just see it in the hallway.
I mean, when you talk about talent, for years, Kyle has inspired us with his graphics ability and his art. And now in this new pandemic world we live in, he's inspired with his words.
To be able to work with students like Kyle is a dream come true for teachers, any teacher. This year, I spent a lot of time with Kyle in the studio working on graphics, collaborating on ideas, and watching him lead his own team of younger students. And in his free periods, he basically became my TA, assisting all the 9th graders without me even asking. He just kind of took it upon himself, and I was thrilled to have him there. My hand shot up, and there was Kyle.
You went from being one of the first students to open Photoshop and create the first graphics to be someone that we trust to do pretty much all of them. I know I will never forget you, as you were one of the first students that I had the opportunity to teach to get familiar with Photoshop and the tools, and then being able to watch you turn it into something of your own will definitely stay with me forever.
Kyle poured his heart and soul into this program to make it pretty.
Kyle is a caring young man who cares about what he does and the people he does it with. And we're going to miss Kyle a lot when he's gone.
Continue to challenge yourself every day. Continue to be a kind person to everyone around you. Most importantly, continue to inspire everyone with your artwork. And make sure you get enough sleep.
Kyle, you did amazing stuff. Amazing work. I miss work. Well, I'm still kind of working with you, but I miss working with you in person and exchanging sarcastic comebacks with you.
Come to think of it, I was never actually one of Kyle's official teachers. I think of myself as more of his student. So thank you, Kyle. Thanks for all that you have taught me over these last 2 years. I'm gonna miss you so much next year, and you had better come visit.
No one ever said that being yourself was easy, and that's exactly why you should. Thank you. From Bmb, I'm Kyle Santagato, also known as Trash Man.
Thank you, Kyle. We're all going to miss you, your talent, your kindness, your generosity, and definitely your laugh. Thank you for everything.
Yes, thanks, Kyle. And now to present our next award for Best Camera Work, here is 2018 Bmb graduate Jason Spiller.
Thank you, Riley. It's an honor to be part of this broadcast tonight. Bmb was a huge part of my high school experience, and Bmb starts with the camera work. Without camera operators, there's no video, and Bmb is lucky to have an amazing team of camera operators. Here are the nominations for Best Camera Operator.
Rachel Milady Breslin, basketball and football. Alyssa Romandetto, football and basketball. Dan Coles, basketball. Sean Petritis, football and basketball.
And the winner is
Sean Petritis and Alyssa Romandetto.
Congratulations, our camera ops truly are some of the unsung heroes of Bmb. We don't see them in action much, but they are the ones on the floor at every single moment, catching every second of the action.
Absolutely. Congratulations. And if you think about it, that was the only choice to win. Now, some of the things that Bmb airs are informative and others are just entertaining. Here to present the award for Most Entertaining Package is Bmb's original star 2019 Bmb graduate, Mike the Storm Daniels.
Thank you, Riley. The ability to entertain is one of the most difficult skills to master, and to be able to entertain on the other side of the screen is even a more difficult skill to master. The students of Bmb that consistently make people laugh on the other side is truly a talent. And now the nominees of those truly talented individuals for the most entertaining packages is...
A lovely shower. I think I'm gonna... Hey!
Hygiene during a pandemic, Luke Melfa.
Anyways, let's talk personal hygiene. It's extremely important, especially now that everyone runs the risk of getting coronavirus. But not only that, you and your family are stuck inside pretty much at all times, aside from when you lock yourself in your room to watch Netflix.
We are diving in with Mr. Russell for 11 questions with Ava Scheffler for Bmb. I was going to spin, but I'm attached. So let's go.
11 questions. Ava Scheffler, Emily Yucht, and Alyssa Romandetto.
Hello, Mr. Russell.
Hello.
I have a surprise interview for you. I bet you didn't even know I was coming.
No, I didn't.
What is your job at Medford High School?
I am broadcasting technician, manager, and I also do the IT.
Hey, yo, what's up, Pirates? I'm Luke Melfa, and today we're doing the show Are You Smarter Than...
Are You Smarter? Luke Melfa, Alyssa Romandetto, and Sean
Great
Petritis.
questions. So today I have Mr. Steckel here. Today I got Mr. Patton here with me. Today I have Mr. Walsh with me here. How are you today?
I am well, sir. How are you?
Pretty dandy, pretty dandy. Pretty dandy, pretty
Excellent.
dandy.
Good.
You excited to answer some questions?
Yeah, I'm a little scared.
Okay, well, we have global history and algebra questions for you here today. And once again, I'm sure you'll do fine.
How does it feel to be so TikTok famous?
Honestly, it's amazing.
Mano on the screen,
I usually don't
Mike
get that much
Alfano and Matt Mano.
I'm literally a god. Like, I have to thank all my TikTok fans. Like, thank you so much.
Yeah, there's a lot of pretty girls on TikTok, and I like to make new friends and dance too.
Do you dance?
You got any good dances you can show us?
Yeah, I got one right here. Listen.
All right, let's see it.
Right.
Let's go.
Oh yeah.
And the winner is...
Hey, yo, what's up, Pirates? I'm Luke Melfa, and today...
Are you smarter? Luke Melfa, Alyssa Romandetto, and Sean Petritus.
Teachers, real 9th grade questions. So today I have Mr. Steckle here. Today I got Mr. Patton here with me. Today I have Mr. Walsh with me here. How are you today?
I am well, sir. How are you?
Pretty dandy, pretty dandy. Pretty dandy, pretty
Excellent.
dandy.
Good.
You excited to answer some questions?
Yeah, I'm a little scared.
Okay, well, we have global history and algebra questions for you here today. And once again, I'm sure you'll do fine.
All right, Luke, what do you got for me today, pal?
So I got living environment questions, earth science questions, and algebra 1 questions. All freshman questions.
Okay, so do I get to choose?
No.
No, I don't.
No.
Okay, so I'm going to get stuck with what you give me.
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. I can't wait to see what we have.
Fantastic.
I am college educated. I do have a master's degree. I don't want to brag because everyone has a master's degree. And I also have the equivalent of 75 additional credits. So I should probably do fine.
That won't help you here. Question 1. Which was true of food gathering societies in prehistoric times? Was it 1, society was highly industrialized, 2, the population tended to be small, 3, the concept of private property was important, or 4, there was a system of mass production?
Do I get to see the question?
We're going to go with E then.
Okay.
Yes.
C. I know what the number is. It's my middle initial, so we'll go with it.
Sounds good. Okay. All right, next question. Doctors sometimes use a vaccine to prepare the body to defend itself against future infections. These vaccines most often contain what? 1, antibodies, 2, antibiotics, 3, white blood cells, or 4, weakened pathogens.
A, antibiotics.
You sure?
Yeah, it's A.
Like positive?
Positive.
Like 100%.
Bro, I got it. Like, you want antibodies so that you don't get sick.
I don't know. B.
Sure.
Yeah. I haven't given a B answer yet. So I think I'm going to go with A on that.
Okay. You sure?
No.
Sounds good. All right. Next question. In which order did the occupations listed below most likely develop in human history?
Okay, occupations. Okay, go ahead.
Is it 1, A, B, C, D?
Well, how am I supposed to do that without seeing the choices A, B, C, or D?
Is it 1, A, B, C, D? Is it 2, B, D, A, C? Is it 3, C, A, B, D? Or 4, B, C, A, D, C, A, B? There's a difference.
There is 4.
Are you sure about that, though?
Yes. What do you think of that?
Oof. This is freshman year work.
Yeah.
This isn't like the AP exam or a college exam?
Nah, dog.
Dog. I feel like a little lost kitten right now. Dog. Since I don't think I'm going to pass this exam, do you think I could borrow your Razor scooter? Because I don't even know if I'm responsible enough to be driving a car right now.
I could put a sidecar on it.
Oh, dude, imagine that. If we were a buddy movie.
Dude, go down Bellmore Avenue with a sidecar on
They'd
a
be
Razor
they
scooter.
see you rolling.
Oh no, that's like 2015. All right, well, that was fantastic. All right, well, you obviously didn't pass, but you know what?
Wait, what do you mean, obviously? How do you know? You don't have the answer key?
I'm not keeping score.
Luke, obviously you have to have the answers to tell me if I did well.
I'm not giving the answers. All right, well, I'm gonna have to say you did better than I would.
Oh.
Even with the guessing, probably,
All right.
maybe.
Well, that's good.
Sure.
That's
Yeah,
good.
totally.
That's good. All right.
All right, well, I hope you enjoyed.
I did. It was fun.
Maybe we will have you on the show again. I appreciate
I would
you
love
joining.
to be on the show again.
I appreciate you joining us.
All right. Thank you,
It's been
sir.
a pleasure. Have a great day, Mepham.
Congratulations, truly very entertaining. One of the things that Bmb does best is our sports coverage, so the choice for who to present the award for Best Sports Package for us was obvious. Long before there was a Bmb, there was an idea.
And that idea came from then Mepham English chairperson, now Kennedy High School assistant principal, Miss Netto.
Without Miss Netto's vision, guidance, and passion, none of what BMB has accomplished would have been possible, and that includes BMB's first national recognition this year in live sports by the Student Television Network.
So, to present the award for Best Sports Package, please welcome BMB's founder, Miss Netto.
Thank you, Haley and Riley. While I'm now the assistant principal at Kennedy High School, I worked at Mepham for 16 years, so the school and community will always have a special place in my heart. When Mr. Harrington and I had the opportunity to pitch the Bellmore-Merrick broadcasting program to the district, I never imagined that it would be as successful as it is today. The teachers and students have far exceeded the district's expectations, and I am so incredibly proud to watch how BMB has grown over the years. To the seniors, I cannot wait to see where the next step in your journey takes you. Now back to the awards. In the winter of 2017, BMB began its sports coverage with the girls' basketball game, and the cameras of BMB perfectly filmed the action on the court while the commentators gave play-by-play updates. Now BMB has branched out from basketball to cover just about every sport in the district, and its coverage is not limited to the action on the court. BMB reports on every aspect of the teams it covers in sports reports and news packages. Here are the nominees for the best of those sports packages.
What if I told you your entire sports year?
Rocco Law and Lori Della Croce, one step at a time.
For Mepham senior Lori Della Croce, her athletic life was pulled to a screeching halt last winter when she tore 2 vital ligaments within her leg.
Basketball season, I went for the ball, planted my knee, my foot and my knee just shifted. So went to the doctors, ended up tearing my ACL and meniscus.
Averaging just about
Tom Morrow and Connor Ward, basketball season preview.
Jack Fontanetta came up big last week against Great Neck South, connecting on 7 3-pointers. He ended his night with 25.
It felt good during warm-ups, like my shot, and I just felt like the open space, and I knocked it down, so it felt pretty good.
Tyler Davis looks to become a select few from Mepham.
Rocco Law, Tyler Davis, dreaming big.
Who know this old rival all too well. He still says he'd like another shot at Garden City.
I played Garden City my junior year in the playoffs. We were the 7th seed, they were the 2 seed. We had a big lead going into halftime and kind of let it slip away as the 4th quarter came around. And that's one of the biggest regrets that I have in high school is not finishing that game. So that game is a big one that I wish I could have back.
For most high school
Rocco Law, and there are still applause.
And most will get a chance to play the sports they grew up with on a competitive level. There may be no sports going on in the stadiums or the fields, but there is still cheering and there is still applause.
And the winner is...
What if I told you?
Rocco Law and Lori Della Croce, one step at a time.
In a blink of an eye. For Mepham senior Lori Della Croce, her athletic life was pulled to a screeching halt last winter when she tore 2 vital ligaments within her leg.
Basketball season, I went for the ball, planted my knee, my foot and my knee just shifted. So went to the doctors, ended up tearing my ACL and meniscus. Had to get surgery.
At a parent's eye, seeing their child suffer an injury at that magnitude can be hard to watch.
It was really tough. She was in a lot of pain. She couldn't even sleep in her bedroom. We had to have a makeshift in our living room for her to be able to go to the bathroom, to get up by herself. She was so determined to get up and do things. She didn't want anybody to help her. And seeing her in all that pain, it was just, couldn't stop it.
That was only the start for Della Croce and her family, as later on in the year, she required a second surgery for scar tissue removal.
3 months after surgery, everything was going great. Realized that my knee wasn't straightening, so I ended up having to go back for another surgery, get scar tissue removed, and 4 months later, we started running and almost back to 100%.
She had to have that second surgery, and that one was the worst. Because She was going in for a simple scar tissue removal. We're all there, and we're called to the back. Victor and I were called to the back, her dad, and they said that that she was having some problems during the surgery. They were able to remove the scar tissue, but she was going into convulsions, and she went into convulsions 3 times, and they had to keep putting her back in a deep coma. Seeing her with all those tubes and the breathing tube, it was just from something that was going to take 45 minutes. Scared us, the thought of losing her.
Girls basketball head coach Jim Mulvey has high praise for her comeback.
Her never give up attitude, always professional, working out, trying to get better. Mom sending me videos. To have a healthy and to be back as our point guard this year and bring this team to the playoffs and beyond.
Working out has been her time to decompress and strengthen her leg.
All my training has helped one day at a time to get back to 100%. It was a tough situation going through both surgeries, but I took it one step at a time, and now I'm back at playing all the sports that I love.
Rocco Law, Bmb Sports.
In 2017, Rocco Law became the first Bmber to create his own show here on Bmb. In the years since, he created Sports Talk, and he has interviewed athletes on practically every MEPM team. He has created a plethora of sports packages, and he has been the lead sportscaster on every single sports broadcast. Let's take a look back on Rocco's 4 years here in Bmb.
Rocco has truly impacted people throughout his 4 years in the Bellmore-Merrick broadcasting program. He's come a long way with all the work he's done. Rocco has not only impacted myself, but many others within Bmb.
Rocco Law was one of our first sportscasters, and from that very first game, he worked harder than anybody else. He made himself better than anybody else. He made Bmb better because everybody had something to aspire to. They saw Rocco out in front, and that was something that everybody wanted to try to be. He cared that much.
He's always helping others and passing up his knowledge to them. He also works well in the team, whether it's sports talk or live sportscasting. He always finds a way to bring out the best in his partner.
He's helped me commentating games, just gave me tips and tricks, Rocco, we're going to miss you in the broadcasting program.
You have been the workhorse of the broadcasting program. Being one of the first students to have the courage to put yourself in front of the camera was a feat of bravery. While some of your peers gave you a hard time about it, you ignored them and cemented your name into this program forever. I give you a lot of credit for that. When I heard the news that we would not be going to SCM this year, I immediately thought of you and how hard you worked to prepare. However, it was a valuable life lesson that nothing is guaranteed, and as long as you continue to work hard and push your teammates to do the same, opportunities will always come your way. Keep pushing yourself and inspiring others around you to do the same.
I know Rocco is going to go far in this industry because between his talent and his determination, I have no doubt.
Rocco, what up, my man? My time at broadcasting with you has been great. You made it extremely easy for me to come on and be the first co-host with you for Sports Talk. And for us two to be the first people to win a BASH award for the broadcasting program was really an honor for me. I'll never forget me and you walking up to the stage to claim that award. And the woman couldn't even pronounce MEPM. Me and you didn't even know we won. But dude, I know when you go off to college, you're going to have the same work ethic you have now. Just a great guy. Just keep it up, man. Peace.
Being a freshman, I was new to the program and I knew I wanted to get into sports. I was a little bit nervous, but Rocco welcomed me and showed me the ways of the program. Aspiring to be a sportscaster, I watched Rocco interview athletes and record games. Soon after, he taught me little tricks and tips that I now use while I'm on air. Rocco did a great job of building up the sports program and creating a strong foundation for future Bmb members. Thank you, Rocco, for everything that you've done for the program and all the people in it. Your constant support has brought us to where we are today. So good luck in the major leagues and we'll miss you.
Honestly, I can't imagine working in the studio next year and not hearing, "Yo, Miss K, I need a graphic," at least 3 times a day.
Rocco has truly impacted people throughout his 4 years in the Bellmore-Merrick broadcasting program. He's come a long way with all the work he's done. Rocco has not only impacted myself, but many others within Bmb.
An amazing 4 years. We will certainly miss Rocco. 4 years ago, when the current seniors were only freshmen like us, they arrived to find a solitary senior in the program. On their trip to New York City, that senior acted as an additional faculty member, and he literally gave them their directions. It's only fitting that the award for Best Direction be presented by Bmb's first director, Braden Mayer.
When the Bellmore-Merrick broadcasting program was first launched 4 years ago, we used to say that the program was so new and that there was so much to be done that we would take anyone. Now, 4 years later, I'm proud to be back not only to see the ways in which the people we've taken have developed, but also to see all the amazing things that you guys have created. It's truly remarkable to see how far the program has come, and you guys should all be incredibly proud of yourselves for what you've accomplished. In the control room, the director is the final voice. They're the one who are calling all the shots that the rest of the crew execute. They need to be calm, they need to think clearly, and they need to have the respect of everyone involved with the project. It's not a job for everyone. But for the few that get the opportunity, it's one of the most rewarding jobs you can have on a crew. And the nominees for Best Director are
Tom Morrow, The Morning Announcements. Spencer Mattis, Football. Emily Rosenberg, Talking Cookies. Casey Farr, Basketball.
And the winner is...
Congratulations, an award so well deserved. We now move on to our final few awards, and to present the award for Best Anchor Team, here's Bmb's very own Miss Kalish.
Thanks, Haley. Bmb is fortunate to have several anchor teams that host our shows. Each team brings a little something different to the show that they host. Each team is unique in style and substance and in signature phrases and moves. What makes each team special is the rapport they create with each other. Let's take a look at the nominees.
Hi, I'm Haley Hepworth. And I'm Riley Freed. And welcome back to the Midweek Update, the B&B show that brings you closer to the people and places in and around the Mepham community. Today, we unearthed the true meaning behind the Park Avenue Community Garden. We also got a behind-the-scenes look at the superheroes of our school security who keep us.
Sports Talk, Rocco Law and Casey Farr.
Welcome back to Sports Talk. Rocco Law and Casey Farr here in the studio. We are gearing up to give you Sports Talk's third annual Super Bowl special. This Sunday, Super Bowl 54 will be in Miami, where the San Francisco 49ers will square off against the Kansas City Chiefs for their chance at the Lombardi. So, Casey, I thought, this is your first time on the show and your first Super Bowl prediction on the show. I thought you had the floor. So, you had the floor. No pressure. I'm only 2-0 in these situations. But, Casey, who do you got?
I'm sure I'm going to be 1-0 after the Super Bowl. I don't know where you stand, so you might be 3-0, you might be 2-1, but we'll see. Personally, I have the Kansas City.
I'm Michelle Spiller, and I'm good at chess.
And I'm AJ Freed, and I can't vote yet.
The morning announcements, AJ Freed and Michelle Spiller.
What's poppin', Pirates? I'm Ava Scheffler with my co-host.
What's Poppin' Pirates? Luke Melfa and Ava Scheffler.
Welcome to our show, What's Poppin' Pirates, where we talk about events going on in the Mepham community.
Speaking about events going on in the Mepham community, your shirt says milk in Spanish.
It
What's
do.
that?
And the winner is...
These have been the Bmb morning announcements for Friday, November 8th.
Have a great day, Mepham.
The morning announcements, AJ Freed and Michelle Spiller.
Congratulations, I could not be happier for them. Haley, we'll just have to work harder and we'll win it next year. Now to present the award for Best Editing, here's B&B's very own Mr. Russell.
Thanks, Riley. Editing is one of the most important parts of telling a visual story. A good editor can completely change the meaning or the feel of a story with just a few clicks of the mouse. B&B is fortunate to have some amazing editors who will work on projects both big and small. What makes selecting the Best Editing Prize is the collaborative nature of editing and the way that all of our editors can work together. It is often difficult to tell where one editor's work ends and the other's begin, but we did. The nominees for the best editing are
Robotic Club looks to use last year's experiences.
Midweek Update, Louis Saracini.
Louis Saracini takes home the business challenge.
When I was a kid, I loved to play with my favorite.
The Morning Announcements, Michael Galfano.
Don't have toys to play with, which is why Mebum is hosting a toy drive. You can bring newly bought toys to the main office in order to help provide for the less fortunate.
We're not kids anymore, Michelle. Stop talking about toys and let's start talking about politics.
You can't mess with me.
Movie Trailer, Emily Rosenberg.
Ward.
I hope you still believe in superheroes.
The Rock, Paper, Scissors promo, Sean Petraeus.
And the winner is
Welcome back
Midweek
to the
Update, Louis Saracini.
The only place that has their Christmas decorations up early. Even in October, plenty of houses have decorations up. Sir,
I give you
sir, can you tell me why you have your Christmas decorations up before Halloween and Thanksgiving?
What's Halloween and Thanksgiving? This year.
As you can see, a season of fall is quickly disappearing.
Congrats to our winner. So well deserved, and thank you for everything that you do, Mr. Russell.
Our final category of the night is a unique one that we hope to never have to award again. But starting on March 14th, as everything went dark across the state and the country, Bmb stayed on air, and we expanded our coverage. So now, to present a special award for Best Pandemic Coverage, here's Bmb's Mr. Stein.
On March 13th, we received news that we would be out of school for the following Monday and Tuesday. The following Monday and Tuesday turned into 2 weeks, which turned into 2 months, which turned into the rest of the school year. While businesses and sports leagues and everything else in our community and country began to shut down, the one thing that didn't stop was BMB. Almost immediately, we had shows on the air the following Monday, with our midweek update show remaining on the air and our morning announcements continuing. And our new show, The Daily Report, every single day since the shutdown began, BMB has been on the air. We've had packages, we've had reports, we've had PSAs, all thanks to the students of Bellmore-Merrick Broadcasting. This broadcast marks the 100th broadcast that BMB has put on the air since leaving school. That's all due to the dedication and the efforts of the students and the members of BMB. We selected the 4 best of the packages created during the pandemic for this special award, Best Pandemic Coverage. And the nominees are
Throughout the recent shutdown, most people have been
Game
stuck
Night
in their
Review,
homes while bored,
Louis
while practicing
Saracini
social
and
distancing.
Lily Yepes.
While B&B has been hard at work producing daily content, we realized not everyone has things to do while staying at home. So we decided to host a live B&B game show.
This is B&B's great Break the Cabin Fever Game Night.
I still think it's a long name.
But it really does roll off the tongue.
As school closures continue throughout the pandemic, many people are focused on
Anna Broxmeyer and Louis Saracini, a freshman perspective.
However, the freshmen are going through this confusing time in their first year of high school and have a different perspective on the shutdown. No one ever expected for the school year to end like this.
I don't think anyone could have expected something like this to happen. We all just wanted to live our lives, go to school, be normal, and then this happened and it really changed.
Coronavirus has taken over the news, but there's one positive story that still stands.
Some good news, Lori Della Croce and Riley Freed.
But they've been putting their own artistic twist to their promotion.
Mr. Fahey, a middle school social studies teacher who draws posters for the school year-round, thought of an artistic way to promote the recognition of the essential workers during this pandemic.
The event last year was amazing. The event is always
1 year ago, Luke Melfa and Alyssa Romandetto.
Very crowded. We had a great student turnout. We also get great responses from our community. So we had shavies from the local elementary school.
And the winner is
Some good news, Lori Della Croce and Riley Freed.
Essential workers, but they've been putting their own artistic twist to their promotion.
Mr. Fahey, a middle school social studies teacher who draws posters for the school year-round, thought of an artistic way to promote the recognition of the essential workers during this pandemic. He created a poster with all of the people who are working right now.
Every walk of life that I could think of that's helping in this crisis, and so I drew them as I could try to draw them in like childlike, almost little simple drawings of kids.
It also has a Mr. Rogers quote that he feels explains the mentality of these times. Before he knew it, our teacher, Mr. Zerkley, wanted to put that art on his car, which is covered in chalkboard paint.
But I saw the poster and I texted Chris immediately, or Mr. Fahey, sorry, immediately, and I said, what do you say we do the car? I just painted it up. It's all fresh coat of chalkboard paint. What do you say we do it? And he was right on board, and we took the first nice day and did it.
The two took the time to create the display at the beginning of the shutdown, and it's staying until the virus ends. Since then, they have taken the car all over and received great responses from the residents. Getting a thumbs up and a nod is a great feeling, said Mr. Zerkley. It makes it all worth it.
I think it gives a good impact that even though there's a lot of bad things going on, you still can kind of, find some enjoyment, looking on the bright side, and understand that these are the people that are helping us. So it's really a dedication to me. That's what I put it out as, a dedication.
Since the start, Mr. Fahey has been selling the posters of his designs to raise money for the nurses of 2 to 3 hospitals he has in mind. He hopes that his work can help at least the slightest bit to the essential workers.
During these tough times, the community is looking for some light at the end of the tunnel. Mr. Fahey and Mr. Zerkley have put smiles on people's faces with their visual masterpiece, thanking the essential workers all over. Thankful for this positive story, I'm Laura Croce reporting for Bmb.
Congrats to our winners, so well deserved.
At the start of the night, we promised you 15 awards. For those of you not keeping track, that last award was number 14.
To present our final award of the night, we welcome back Ms. Kalish, Mr. Russell, and Mr. Stein.
Thanks, Riley and Haley. You guys have been doing an amazing job all night. And as 2 members of our spectacular freshman class, we can see that indeed the future of Bmb is very, very bright. I'm joined here tonight by Mr. Russell and Ms. Kalish to announce a special category of award.
Bmb is still very young. As our graduates tonight were actually accepted into the program before any of the 3 of us joined. Bmb was very lucky that in those early days to have a group of what were then upperclassmen help guide the class of 2020 as they moved through the program.
At the time, they were just students, but in reality, they were builders of the program. And we want to recognize them for their contributions with a new award that will be known as the Founders Award.
For each graduating class, we will recognize a number of students for the roles that they have played in building this program.
We will then create a portrait of them to remember them and their contributions.
Those portraits will then be displayed in the studio for future generations of Bmb students to literally look up to and follow in their footsteps.
So now, to honor some of our founders of the past.
From the class of 2019, he was Bmber's first star. People tuned in from across the district, and his weather forecast made the Bmb morning announcements a must-see event. Recognizing our founder from 2019, we get our weather from the Storm, Mike the Storm Daniels.
When Mr. Stein and I arrived in the fall of 2016, we found that we already had a trio of juniors in the program. One among them showed excitement and exuberance for all things broadcasting beyond compare. He was a camera op, an editor, but more than anything, he was a floor manager. So to honor our founder from the class of 2018, we get our Quiet on the Set from Jason Spiller.
In 2016, we were lucky to have one senior and member of the class of 2017 as part of our initial cohort. He was an older brother to the freshmen that surrounded him in the studio. He was a role model and something for them to aspire to. When we went on location for the first time, there was no question as to who our director would be. He set the tone back in 2016, and the students of today are literally still following his direction. Our our founder from the class of 2017, we get our direction from Braden Mayer.
Now to recognize a pair of Founders Award recipients for the class of 2020.
Kyle Santagato displayed a unique dedication to the broadcasting program and an uncommon talent in the world of graphic design. He was practically self-taught when it came to Photoshop, spending literally hours in the Bmb studio long after everyone else went home. And you can really see the look on our shows improve from 2016 to 2020. And as Kyle learned his new graphic techniques.
But Kyle did not just create graphics. He also began to teach. Whenever someone in the studio had a graphics question, Kyle was usually the first to answer, to help, and to teach. To know Kyle is to know that he was not trying to help out of hubris, but out of humility. He is one of the most caring and genuine teens that I've ever had the honor of working with in my time at Mepham.
Kyle's talents were not limited to the world of graphics. In his senior year, Kyle became a staple as the cookie wrangler on BMB's Talking Cookies, and in the pandemic, Kyle touched us all with his weekly commentary on the Daily Report. It is my honor to present BMB founder Kyle Santagato with the 2020 BMB Founders Award. I get my graphics from Kyle.
In 4 years at Mepham, our Net Founder Award recipient has become synonymous with Bmb Sports. From his place on the sidelines or in the broadcast booth at almost all Bmb sports coverage or weekly sports reports, his Bmb Sports Instagram posts, and his student-produced an award-winning Bmb Sports Talk.
We knew broadcasting was in Rocco's blood, and as a sophomore, he approached us about creating his own show. Rocco and Bmb Sports Talk chartered a course that will be emulated by generations of BMBers to come. Rocco literally spent hours in the studio and at home obsessing about every little detail. He had a vision for what he wanted BMB Sports to be, and he did not rest until that vision had been realized.
Rocco's talents lie not only in producing and directing, but also in writing, editing, and creating graphics. He is, as a sports reporter would say, the complete package, a triple threat. In front of the camera, pre-production, and post-production. It is our honor to present you with this 2020 BMB Founders Awards. I get my sports from Rocco.
Rocco and Kyle, you have helped to make this program what it is today. Your dedication and your passion made you leaders among your peers. For years, I've called the class of 2020 the tip of the spear, doing everything for the first time. We're going to miss the entire class of 2020. You have all meant so much to this program. And speaking for Ms. Kalish and Mr. Russell, you've all meant a great deal to us personally as well. For 4 years, we have all been on this journey together. You are builders and contributors to this program as well. And I know I will miss seeing each and every single one of you every morning. We already do. We would like to recognize the rest of the graduating class of 2020 for their contributions to the program.
Our builders, News Director Casey Farr and our directors Kai Sani, Spencer Mattis, our reporters Lori Della Croce, Melanie Senra, Aiden Carolyn, and Caitlin Felsberg, and our first technical director, Nick Reel.
And our contributors, Kenny Franquise, James Fazio, Jake Palladino, Jack McCarthy, and Dan Hickey.
We'd also like to recognize the person who brought the three of us into the program. She presented one of the awards earlier this evening, and the truth is, none of this would exist if it had not been for the vision and groundwork of Dr. Marie Netto.
Before Bmb even existed, Dr. Netto built the foundation, and we and all the students are in her debt for the work that she did long before the lights came on and the on-air sign was lit.
So we would like to present one final Founders Award to Dr. Marie Netto. She may now be the pride of Kennedy High, but she'll always be a broadcaster to us.
We'd also like to take a moment to recognize the 4 seniors and 3 juniors who were inducted into the Student Television Network Honor Society this school year. Kyle Santagato, Rocco Law, Melanie Senra, Casey Farr, Louis Saracini, Emily Rosenberg, and Michelle Spiller. Congratulations.
Now we'll turn it back over to Haley and Riley.
Thank you for tuning in tonight to celebrate these amazing student reporters and their work.
And thank you for tuning in all year long. This has been an amazing year of growth for the Bmb program, and we look forward to where we will take this program in the fall.
What the school day will look like may still remain unsettled, and we will miss the 15 seniors graduating from our program, but there is something we know.
The seniors have taught us so much, and we look forward to sharing that knowledge with the class of 24 freshmen joining us next year.
2020 and 2021 may be full of questions, but there is one thing that you can count on. If it's Friday, it'll be the Bmb morning announcements.
And on Wednesdays, it'll be the midweek update. No matter what tomorrow brings, Bmb will be on air.
Thank you for tuning in tonight, and keep tuning in for the rest of this year and in the fall.